Hi guys, welcome to Counterpoints. My name is Connor, and today we're going to be breaking down Interrogator Part 3 from Warhammer TV. We're redoing this content to fix some technical and lore issues and to make sure that our episode is in line with fair use, so it doesn't get taken down by Games Workshop, which unfortunately has happened to some other episodes. Our inquisitorial agents, Balder and Jurgen, are on a mission to avenge their former patron, Belena, and they retreat to a bar owned by one of their friends, the Voidsman. They find it has been shot up, ransacked, and burned by Duke Chlor's men. This episode is brought to you by Hawkins & Company. Everything today is soulless and mass-produced, but not the wallets from Hawkins & Company. They're hand-stitched in the United States from some of the finest locally produced leather and come in a variety of styles and configurations. I carry the bifold wallet daily, but they also have trucker and biker-style wallets available. Use code COUNTERPOINTS at checkout and get 15% off your order. Get a wallet that's manly, rugged, and refined, all at the same time, today.
Come on. We're not going to figure this out standing in the sodding rain. And I don't know about you, but I could damn well use a drink. Duke Chlor's men.
And civilians. This is very far from ideal, Jurgen.
Throne.
Sortha.
Alive. As far as I can tell.
What are you doing?
Having that drink.
We don't have time for this. We need to find Sortha.
Sit down, Balder.
You should really have taken him up on that drink. You never know when you'll get another chance. Duke Chlor will see you now.
One for the road. Here's the thing about cells. I've never had a problem being in one. Being captured is just a change of circumstance, like waking up on someone's floor after a long night. Or coming to in an alleyway after a brawl. A move from one place to another. No big deal. Besides, sitting in a cell might be the one time you can guarantee that no one is trying too hard to kill you.
Get off me!
Hells, Balder, keep it down! My head's thick enough as it is. You ain't fighting your way out of this. Ease up. A nice lie down in a dimly lit cell will do us both good. We can get back to killing these idiots later.
Doesn't look like that little lie down did you much good.
Maybe not. But at least you won that fight with the guards.
I've looked worse. You, on the other hand. Ugh. What the hells do you think Chlor wants with us? Payback for the governor?
Emperor knows. But if he'd wanted us dead, we'd be dead already.
They gave it a damn good try.
On your feet, wretch. The Duke wants to see you. You best not be dead.
Fuck off!
This won't take long. Then you can go back to scrabbling around in the dirt. Where you belong.
Fine. But I'm going to be a terrible conversationalist. Without some pills for my head.
Jurgen's ambivalence to being captured is tested when his contact with the cell shows him all the horrors and miseries visited upon its occupants. Duke Clore is a sadist who has starved, tortured, and executed his opponents, a fate which Jurgen gets to experience via his psychic ability. Which brings up an interesting question about the nature of governance in the Warhammer universe. A lot of people get upset when you bring up real-world political and moral analysis into their escapist art, but for me, that's part of the enrichment of the universe. Seeing humanity so distant from us in its technology and culture, and yet so familiar because of our shared intrigues and history, begs for this kind of analysis, and so I'm not going to shy away from it. Is the Imperium fascist, authoritarian, a theocracy, a product of its environment? And for me, the answer to all these questions is yes, but let me back that statement up. I debate politics and write essays as a side project, and I've talked to a few modern nationalist and fascist philosophers. I have found that their analysis of Giovanni Gentile, Benito Mussolini, and Adolf Hitler all boil down to two fundamental concepts: political corporatism and flexible authoritarianism, something that the Imperium is filled with. Political corporatism is the belief that the nation-state should be treated as a body. Most nations throughout history have operated this way consciously or unconsciously. The Emperor and High Lords of Terra would be the brain. The Imperial Forge's economy and ties would be the heart and circulatory system. The Custodes' eyes of the Emperor and Inquisition spy networks would be the nervous system. The Enforcers, Arbitus, and Adeptus Hereticus would be the immune system. The bones, muscle, and sinew would be the Imperial Guard, Space Marines, and forces of the Mechanicus, so on and so forth. All of these systems have to act as a single organism pushing in one direction, the survival of humanity, for the Imperium to function. So I believe this definition has been met. Both fascism and the Imperium of Man are defined by their flexible authoritarianism. Civilized worlds might have senates, House of Commons, or consuls, and be very similar to republics of the Old World. Shrine worlds are ruled by the Holy Church. Forge worlds are ruled by a technocracy of Mechanicus priests. Agri worlds and feudal worlds will often have a hereditary nobility to guarantee the security of the planet. High worlds will often have an imperial aristocracy, but will also have various merchant lords who gain status not from birth, but from the vast amount of wealth they generate from industry and intersolar commerce. The Imperium does not have one form of governance, it has dozens, and it takes the shape it needs to maintain power. You can say this is born out of necessity, but this is identical to both fascist philosophy and practice. Benito Mussolini seized power by paying deference to the monarchy of Italy and the Church of Rome, but seized secular power for himself. Hitler's party won a plurality position in parliament before Hitler was appointed chancellor. It was only after his chancellorship that Hitler dissolved and suppressed his political enemies and seized total power. This could be viewed similarly to how Gog Vandire became the head of the Munitorum and Administratum to seize power, or how Guilliman killed and replaced some of the High Lords of Terra before taking the title of regent. The Imperium does not care how planets are governed or what murderous schemes appoint who is in power, only that the Imperial tithe is paid and that it remains the supreme power of the galaxy. Feel free to be annoying in the comments section about my understanding, but no, I'm not moral frogging about this. I'm being descriptive, and I think that Warhammer 40k does its best work when it's simultaneously morally dubious, gross, violent, and grimdark, but also shows the sparks of human bravery, nobility, compassion, and heroism. To pursue justice in a broken world and to rage against the dying of the light are valiant and very human acts.
The prisoners, sir.
Very well. Take a seat.
Sir,
That'll be all, Sergeant.
But sir...
You heard me. Leave us.
Sure.
Sit down. I have a problem.
That makes two of us.
This city, this planet, is sliding into the shit. The proletariat are rioting in the streets. We've lost communication with Terra. With no black ships, psychers breed like vermin. There is a power vacuum. No one legally responsible for fixing this mess. And all this because of a single shot to the head. Because, for some reason unknown to the rest of us, your master deemed it appropriate to assassinate the governor.
Eleanor was an inquisitor. Her actions were unimpeachable.
She's dead. Any privilege she or you were granted by that badge of office died with her. The people need someone to blame. Right now, they blame each other. They blame the houses. They blame me. I am sure you understand that nothing creates unity like a common enemy. You will admit your guilt. You will be presented to the world as the traitors responsible for the governor's death.
Why now?
Because I've tried everything else. Because I'm losing this damn house war. Sedimir has the support of the people. Idiots. All that bastard wants is to grow fat on their misery. This is my home. I won't see it lost. If I'm to do anything about this Emperor-damned mess, I need to win over the masses. Your executions will earn me their favor. But I will give you a choice. Cooperate, and your executions will be swift and uncomplicated. Choose to go against me, and your final moments in this universe will be exceedingly unpleasant.
I was barely following what Claw was saying, but I was pretty sure he was right. This mess was down to us. And worse, we'd done the same on other worlds. We just never bothered to stick around long enough to take in the consequences.
Unfortunately for Baldur and Jurgen, they find themselves on the wrong side of the political equation. Once untouchable under the authority of the Inquisition, without their patron, they are now subject to the authority of Duke Clor. This is another point that shows the fluidity of power in the Imperium. The law of the Imperium, or Lex Imperialis, is so large and filled with infractions that men and women commit dozens of crimes by the end of the workday. The scale of punishments from a verbal reprimand to summary execution are left to the whim of the judge. Judges also have overlapping authority where a local enforcer might give you a slap on the wrist, an arbitrator may give you a lashing, and an inquisitor might summarily execute you, or in reverse or mixed order. There's no predictability to punishment, which keeps Imperial citizens on their toes not to anger any man with a gun and a badge. There are also as many enforcers of law as there are powers on your planet. Enforcers are well-trained and equipped police, but they will defer to whoever is bankrolling them. House guards of nobles have authority over the domain of their lord. Adeptus Arbitus are Imperial police, meaning they only concern themselves with local matters if they threaten the stability of the planet or sector. Planetary Defense Forces or Imperial Guard take authority under martial law. Inquisitors can stop by at any moment and conduct investigations to their satisfaction and are only answerable to other Inquisitors and the High Lords of Terra. There's no habeas corpus, no demand for jury trial, and no prohibition against cruel and unusual punishment, meaning that the only thing keeping you alive or on the outside of a cell is whether or not you are valuable to the Imperium, which Baldur and Jurgen no longer are.
Oh shit! The bastard's gonna hang us out to dry! You need to sort yourself out, now!
And how exactly am I supposed to do that?
I don't know. Just find a way, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Would it work? I had no idea. But things could hardly get any worse. Screw it. What the? Always more blood.
Now, you could object to my political assessment, and a common rebuttal is that the Imperium's authoritarianism is needed considering the forces it faces, and that's true. In this example, a rogue Inquisitor destabilized multiple planets and created a potent warp-sensitive drug for what purpose, no one knows. When one of her agents is brought to a local lord's justice, he uses his limited psychic might, enhanced by drugs, to blow up a cell block, killing a dozen inmates and guards. When so many rival and freakishly powerful forces exist, it only makes sense to have overlapping forces scrabbling for power so that no single authority can dominate. It might make for a hard-scrabble political system where only the most ruthless thrive, but in order to ensure humanity's survival and check the malevolent influence of the mutant, heretic, and alien, it just may be necessary. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and comment down below for the comment gods. All of that is free, it helps me in the algorithm, and helps other people find my content. If you like what I do and want to see more of it, join our Patreon at patreon.com/counterpoints, but it's also linked down below. We also have an Indiegogo for the science fiction weapons project we're doing, so if you want to see me blow stuff up, throw me a couple of dollars there. If you want to hang out with other nerds and talk about Warhammer, science fiction, politics, philosophy, model painting, kit bashing, or terrain building, then join our Discord and you'll find like-minded people, also free by the way. If you like political debates or essays, then check out my other channels linked down in the description. If you need a wallet, check out Hawkins & Company. If you need third-party bits, check out Libra Demonica. If you need your models painted, check out Mastermind Models in Miniatures. If you need body and face wash, use Geology. If you need healthy breakfast cereal, get some Magic Spoon. If you need a gaming chair, go to E1 Racing. And if you need a standing desk, use FlexiSpot. I appreciate you. Catch you in the next one. Until the end.